y'all, it's Alex from You Should Craft, and today I'll show you how to crochet the Alpine Beanie. This is a chunky crocheted hat that you can crochet using only one ball of yarn. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to the You Should Craft channel and hit the notification bell so you'll never miss a free tutorial or crochet pattern. Alright, so on the blog, this hat comes in 4 sizes. Today I'll be crocheting the toddler size just to show you how it's done. But again, the blog has full written instructions for 4 sizes from baby up through an adult large. So in order to crochet your Alpine Beanie, you'll need a number 6 super bulky yarn. I'm using Woolies Thick and Quick from Lion Brand. This color is called Mystical and it's discontinued, but this gray color still exists. It's called Charcoal. Feel free to sub out for a different number 6 super bulky yarn if you don't have this one or it's not available where you live. You'll also need your standard crochet notions, so like scissors, a tapestry needle with a wide eye since this is super bulky yarn, and a tape measure to measure your head and your hat as you work. And then you'll also need an 8mm crochet hook. Mine is an M hook from Furls Crochet. It's the Cookies and Cream Streamline Swirl. So, alright, let's go ahead and get started on our hat. This chunky crocheted hat is crocheted from the bottom up. So we're going to start with the ribbing, which will be wow, what words am I saying? We're going to start with the ribbing, which will be crocheted in short rows of 5. So we'll chain 6 to start. And we're doing half double crochets. So I've yarned over and I'm going to crochet into the back bump of each stitch across. So this will give us our 5 stitches for this band. So there's row 1. Now I will chain 1, turn my work, and I'm going to start crocheting into the 3rd loops. So if these are the front loops that are closest to me and the back loops which are furthest from me, the 3rd loops are facing me. They're on kind of the front of the half double crochet, so the part that's closest to you. So these loops right here. For my first and last stitch, I'm not just going to crochet into the 3rd loop, I'm also going to crochet into the front loop. So I'll have 2 loops on my hook. They're just kind of different loops than what you would normally use. So I'll yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through those last 3. And then I'll crochet in the 3rd loops. These are half double crochets still. And then now I'm on my last stitch, so I'll crochet in the 3rd loop and the front loop. And that just helps give me a cleaner edge. So now I've got 5 stitches again. I will chain 1, yarn over, turn my work, and again I'll do the 3rd loop and the front loop. And then half double crocheting in the 3rd loops. And for that last stitch, I'll be in the 3rd loop and the front loop. So you can start to see the ribbing that this creates. So on any one side, you'll see the ribbing every 2 rows. And the ribbing will make it super easy for you to count how many rows you have in your band. For the toddler size crocheted hat, we are going to go up to 20 rows. So here we've got 2 rows because you can see the ribbing. So 1, 2, and then here's the next 2 rows. If you look on the other side, you can still kind of count this way, but the ribbing shows up on the first row. So it's a little bit more challenging to count. But so far I have 4 rows. Again, we're going to go to 20 for the toddler size of this chunky crocheted beanie. So go ahead and keep going, and I'll catch back up with you when your band is completed. So that is the end of my 20th row. We've got, just to double check, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. So you will flip it upside down, put the 2 ends together, and I'll chain 1, and then I'll start slip stitching across to join here. But to make this turn into like a little rib as well, I'm going to insert my hook into the 3rd loop of the side that my hook is on right now, and then both loops from the opposite side. So this is like the bottom of row 1. And then just slip stitch. So pull it through everything. So again, I'm inserting my hook into the 3rd loop of the row closest to me and both loops of the starting row. Yarn over and pull it all through. All right, so now you'll flip this inside out. And then you'll just start crocheting clockwise around your hat. So here I will chain 1, yarn over, and I'm going to start crocheting double crochets all the way around the brim of my hat. You're going to crochet about 3 half double crochets per 2 rows. So I usually put 2 here and then 1 kind of like in the ribbing. And when we do that all the way around, we'll end up with 30 double crochets for the toddler size. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, So keep double crocheting all the way around the band. Again, you'll end up with 30 if you're doing the toddler size with me. So once you have all 30 stitches, you'll join to the first double crochet with a slip stitch. You'll chain 1 and then you'll start round 2. So my first stitch will be a double crochet. And now we're going to go into the Alpine stitch pattern. So basically we're going to alternate between regular double crochets and front post double crochets. So to crochet around the post, you'll go into the next stitch on the side, around the back, and then out the other side. You'll yarn over and pull through, and then finish in the same way you would finish a normal double crochet. So you'll alternate this double crochet, front post double crochet all the way around, and you'll still end up with 30 stitches. Go ahead and finish crocheting all the way around, alternating between double crochets and front post double crochets. So when you've made it all the way around, you'll be finishing on a front post double crochet. For the toddler size, you'll have a total of 15 of those repeats, and then you will join to the first stitch with a slip stitch. So round 3, you're going to continue the Alpine stitch, but now we're going in the opposite double crochets. So when we started round 2, we started with a double crochet. Now I'm starting with a front post double crochet, and then I'll do a double crochet, and I'll alternate this pattern all the way around. So again, you'll repeat it 15 times. But these front post double crochets will be between the front post double crochets from the previous row. So we've got front post double crochet in a normal double crochet, and then our double crochet is on top of a front post double crochet from the previous row. So it's like alternating. So here's a front post double crochet from the previous row, skip one, and then here's a regular one, another front post double crochet. So our next front post double crochet will go right here. So we'll alternate this pattern all the way around. Alright, so I've finished round 3. I'm joining to my first stitch with a slip stitch, and then I have one more of this like standard Alpine stitch row left. So I'm going to repeat a double crochet, front post double crochet pattern all the way around. So once again, it'll be 15 repeats. This is the same as round 2. But you'll just follow this pattern all the way around. And then since this hat is the toddler size, once we finish this row, we'll get started on decreasing to form the top of the hat. So since this is a chunky crochet hat, It's really fast to crochet, in case you're like, whoa, how'd we already get here? Okay, so I am done with round 4. And like I said earlier, now we're going to start our decreasing. So I'll chain 1, and then I'm going to do a front post double crochet. And a double crochet. These are just regular. But now I'm going to do 2 different kinds of decreases. The first one will be a front post double crochet invisible decrease. So I will go around the post as if I were going to do a regular front post double crochet. But I'll also put my hook through the front loop of the next stitch. So I'm kind of in 2 stitches right now. I'm in the post of this stitch and in the front loop of this stitch. And then I'll just finish off a normal double crochet. And now here's my next type of special decrease, which is just a regular, well, not regular, but it's an invisible decrease with double crochets. So I'll put my hook through the first loop, the front loop, and then the front loop of the next stitch. So these are less bulky than traditional decreases because instead of double crocheting 2 together, which even though it only has 1 top, it has like double the width, I guess, because it still would look like 2 stitches. These are crocheted together. So after I've done my front post invisible decrease and my double crochet invisible decrease, I will do a regular front post double crochet and a regular double crochet. And now I'll do my decreases again. So I'm yarning over, and I will start with my front post double crochet invisible decrease. So I'm going around the post of this first stitch and then through the front loop of the next stitch, and I'll just do a double crochet, and that will join these 2 together. And now I'll do an invisible double crochet decrease in the next 2 stitches. So if you're worried about gaps right now, don't be. As your hat gets tighter and when you sew up the top, these gaps will naturally close a little bit. So continue this pattern around where you're doing a front post double crochet, a double crochet, an invisible decreasing front post double crochet, and an invisible decrease double crochet. So you'll repeat those 4 stitches all the way around. You'll do a total of 5 repeats. I lost my train of thought, but you'll do 5 repeats, and when you're done, you'll have a total of 20 stitches. So go ahead and continue that around. I'm down to the last couple stitches in round 5. Here's my invisible double crochet decrease. And now, just like before, I'll join to the first stitch with a slip stitch. Now, chain 1, and this is my final round. I'm just going to double crochet decrease all the way around. So I had 20 stitches in my last row, and if I decrease every single one, I'll end up with 10 stitches. And like I said before, this will look a little bit gappy as you're crocheting, but once you pull it together and sew the top closed, it'll look a lot less gappy. And this will also help you lose a lot of that bulk and like wrinkling at the top of your hat. So when you're done, you'll join to the last stitch with a slip stitch. You'll use your little scissors to cut your yarn. I typically leave about a 12-inch tail. That gives me room to sew in my ends and also to weave them in when I'm done, just to make sure it's really secure. So join your tapestry needle. Oops, I did a bad job of it. And then just weave your yarn through the outside loops of your hat. And you'll pull it closed as you go. And just keep doing that until it's all the way closed, and then weave it through a little bit more and weave in your ends to be done. So here is, I'm not like 100% done weaving in the top, but here's our finished hat. So you'll just clean it up a little bit. You know, we've still got this little end in here that I didn't do anything with, but just weave it in, make sure everything's secure. If you want, you can add a tag with like your business name on it or something that says like handmade with love. I'll put a link to mine in the description below. And these would also look cute with those faux fur pom-poms, or just regular poms would look cute too. Or obviously it's already adorable just as like a regular beanie. But thank you so much for following along with this crocheted hat tutorial. Again, this is called the Alpine Beanie, and you can find more sizes on the You Should Craft blog. Please subscribe to the You Should Craft channel so you never miss any free patterns or tutorials. Thanks for watching.